Every time I hear that drum beat, I want to start playing drums again. But probably not a good idea. Hello, hello, hello. Why is this thing all wonky looking? Try to find, no, that's not good. Try to find the one I'm supposed to be on. I don't know. This one? Well, I could use that one and turn the chat thing on. That never stays where it's supposed to. Tall. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's doing good. Ooh. It is, actually, it was pretty good today, weather-wise. It's been really cold. I know Thursday, because we had to go out of town. And I had this company send me some thermal underwears. So last week we had to go out of town too, and I figured out that I have a hole in the floorboard somewhere to where air is coming in, and my legs froze to death. Oh man. Well, this actually isn't a good thing, because I just see the vertical is like way over there. So guess we'll just leave it like that. But anyways, I dressed warm. I mean, warm for going out of town on Thursday. And I roasted. I roasted so bad. I was like, no. We stopped and did a little bit of shopping and stuff. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, that's why I changed it. I got to figure out which one of these things here is, because there's so many. There's this thing here, but it puts it way over here, and over there on the other layout it puts it somewhere else. We got this one, that one. There's so many different ones, go all over the place. Yeah, actually that one I had wasn't, well, no, see, that one's not too bad. At least you can see chat, I think. What? This one on the bottom, well, that kind of works. Has a big open space on top, but I'll just leave it like that. If that's good for everybody, I'll just leave it like that. But anyways, yeah, these things work real good. I wish the company would actually send me info to so I could do a review on it and give you guys the info on it, because this stuff it's real stretchy, but it holds the heat in real good. But either way, your overall screen is so small. Yeah. It's probably the best way is like this, and don't worry about chat, I guess. I guess you can kind of still see the chat over there. But everybody said, don't go driving, it's supposed to be ice and snow and everything, and we never did get any snow. Went to the store today, and it is crazy out there. People are freaking out because evidently there was a storm coming, and I'm like, why is everybody freaking out? And they said, well, there's a projected winter storm coming through. And I said, well, duh, it's wintertime. Cracked up laughing. Here, say hi. You wanted to say hi. Say hi. But yeah, instead of waiting for it to be, you know, cold out, or I mean, waiting for projected storms, you should already be prepared. You know, you can go out and pick a little something up, but there are people going and buying cases of water and stocking up on soup, and which, don't get me started on Campbell soup. Not only is it bioengineered ingredients, there is, you know, printed meat, so to speak. But yeah, other than that, trip went pretty good. Did have something happen, and I'm not gonna post a video on it or anything, because I don't think it's a appropriate video to be posted on any social media or anything, because it wasn't very good. And we were talking about it today, and I hate to say it, but I seen it before it happened. And it sounds weird, you know, funky this, funky that, and all that. But I almost said something ahead of time, and almost talked about it more. But when we had stopped at the light, and ongoing traffic gets to go first, because it's more traffic, so they get to turn left first. And I seen a mother and her probably about a 7-8-year-old daughter walking across the street in the crosswalk, which they had the right of way. The light was green for them to cross, and the guy on the other side took off, you know, in a hurry, and mowed mother and daughter down in the street. It was not a very good thing to see. I went ahead and copied, because I have a camera, onboard camera, dash cam, and I took it to the sheriff's office today, and they had witnesses. There was tons of witnesses, but like the sheriff, I went and talked to the sheriff, and he says, too many times witnesses can be proven untrustworthy, and, you know, different things, because a lawyer can discredit a witness in 2 seconds. It's not very hard nowadays. They do a full history, you know. Insurance companies will do things like that to get out of paying that big amount and everything. Well, he said, and he kind of sounded like he was shocked that somebody would come forward and offer the video of what happened. And I said, yeah, no problem, you know. And I took it down today, and I just have a flash drive that I give them, a thumb drive, and they really, really nice. You know, everybody mentions how unfriendly and supported and all this, how bad the sheriff department is and everything. Every time I go down there, the first thing is I treat them with respect, and they treat me with respect back. I've never had any issues. You see everybody talking on Facebook and stuff. Oh, they're so bad. They this and that and the other. I've never had any trouble with them. They're always super friendly. I've been pulled over for, you know, a bad tail light or something, and never got a ticket. They just told me, make sure you get it fixed and this and that. And so many people get so upset when they get pulled over or they're confronted with the police or a sheriff, and they get so defensive, and they wonder why after a few minutes who they're talking to gets rude. It's because that's what you show them. And it just surprises me how, and there's always going to be the bad sheriff or the bad policeman, because it's human nature. There's always going to be bad people and good people. Yeah, will you sit down? But it was not a good scene. I'll put it that way. And that was my task for today, is go to the sheriff's office and make sure they get this video, just in case, even though there were multiple witnesses and stuff like that. It's always good to have actual video proof, because again, so often witnesses can be discredited for silly reasons. Hey there, Grace. Boy, it looks like everybody's over on the vertical side. Oh no, Mountain Grandma. She's on the widescreen. Yeah, and I was going to stay there and help with traffic and whatnot, but I figured the main thing for me to do was to get home and get the video off of there. The problem I had when I got home, I never set the clock on the camera, the dash cam. So it said it was April 11th when it happened. So that kind of sucked. But I told him, I said I just made a small clip of it. And actually, surprisingly enough, right before that happened, somebody ran the red light. So technically they get two people on that video, which you see a lot of the red light running here. And this was 2 blocks from where my son was run over. This is a bad issue here. I don't know if it's in other towns in Ohio, but here in Coshocton, it's really bad. People in cars are running over pedestrians quite a bit. After my son was run down, a week later, a boy on a bicycle, and you hardly ever see kids on bicycles anymore. Hey, Southern Survival, good to see you. This is my right, so usually Bushy is full screen. He looks like he's a phone. Yeah, I did a small video on my EDC bag or pouch or whatever you want to call it. Figured it's time to update it and everything. So I pretty much took everything out of it, and I'm probably going to do a few videos on it by adding a few things, especially for those who commented and gave me suggestions on it. I'll give those who who posted tips and stuff. I'll put them in the video too. And because I have some other stuff that I wanted to do somewhat like this, and I've never seen anybody make something that goes into a EDC. Now, I was strolling around YouTube, which is very interesting because you'll get EDC pops up now since I did a video, and I put the video out, or after I put the video out, it, videos popped up saying, oh, EDC this, EDC that. And once I did, I started watching some of these, and this one said top 12 items in an EDC. And so I click on it. The first thing is earbuds, for your cell phone, or, to listen to music and stuff. Okay, I guess, yeah, that could come in handy, I guess. Yeah. The next thing was sunglasses. I'm like, well, I do carry sunglasses with me, so that would be an everyday carry, but I wouldn't put it in that pouch. I would just carry them on, wear them. And then there was a Game Boy. And this guy had a knockoff Game Boy that went into a CDC bag. I'm like, okay. And then there was lip gloss, and it was a guy, so I was getting worried. And then there was lotion, and then it went downhill from there. And I'm like, I wonder if he knows, the true meaning of an EDC, which is everyday carry, which I know it could be for everything, but the majority of what an EDC is, more of a survival type carrying devices. So it was interesting. And then the second one that I clicked on, and I was done after the second one. I was like, ugh. The guy starts out with a knife, and I'm like, oh, that's a fancy little knife you got there. And until I seen the price, $492 for this knife. Never needs sharpening. Blah 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 blah. It's got an anti-lock this, and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, is there like a cook stove in this little knife or something? Because I'm not going to spend $400 for a knife. I mean, a homemade knife from somebody that'll make it here in the United States with really good steel and everything for under $200. So why would I spend $400 on that knife that doesn't look very good? And then he proceeds to go to his Leatherman, which Leathermans are not cheap. After the Leatherman, that he adds attachments that go onto the Leatherman, which were like some kind of a nut drive or a screwdriver of some ratchet thing like that. And each one of those, which was just about yay big, were $50 each. And I'm like, and he had 4 of them. I'm like, that's $200 plus another $270 for a Leatherman. I'm like, so far you've showed these 3 items, and that's $700-800. I'm like, wow. And then it keeps going on and on from there. And by the time he was done, he probably had at least almost $2,000 worth of stuff in this little case. And there wasn't really that much stuff, you know, and I was like, I really need to make a video on just a cheap everyday carry stuff, knife. And like I carry this little Gerber multi-tool, and it has a screwdriver, it's got a knife, it's got a little saw, and of course the pliers, and it's got tweezers, and a awl. And that thing cost me less than $20. So I'm like, you don't need to spend $150 on a multi-tool or $270. And the majority of the stuff he was showing in his EDC, he had a link and a discount code for everything that he had in, which, I mean, if you were going to buy that stuff, it's good to support the creator, but there's a limit. It was crazy. But other than the EDC stuff, which, like I said, I'll be putting out a few more videos on that. After what I witnessed yesterday, people have gotten, and I've mentioned this before, people have gotten so far stuck in their bubbles to where they don't see anything outside of that 2 feet range beyond their little bubble. And I'm not saying it was her fault or anything, but she could have stopped way before this had happened, instead of waiting and seeing if this truck was going to stop. Because I watched the video in slow motion and everything, because I seen it ahead of time. I seen something that was going to happen before she was crossing the road. I had already, seen it was going to happen. And as I was watching her, she turned and looked at the vehicle, and had taken 4 steps across the road before her and the little girl were ran down. And luckily he stopped where he didn't run him over again, from underneath. But the fact that, the delayed reaction to make 4 steps and then get hit, it just, because like I said, I seen it coming. I'm always like, when I cross the street, I don't pay attention to the vehicle, so to speak. I'll pay attention to the person, because I can read the person's aneurysms and if they're paying attention, or if they're upset and they're wanting to hurry up and go or something like that. Because like, if I'm going to cross the street, I'll look and see both ways, like you're supposed to. But if I see an on car coming and they look like they're going to stop, but they're not stopping, I always pay attention to and look at their eyes, so to speak. And you kind of get a feel for, if you can cross the street or whatnot. And in this day and age, you have to hear cars coming behind you and look Um, even when I'm in a store, if somebody walks up behind me, I turn to where I can see them, and always have somebody in my eyesight, so I know if they start making a move, I can react in time. Because if somebody's behind you and you can't see behind you, they can start and do anything they want to do. Hello, Gavin. How's it going? Yeah, it's everybody has to kind of pay more attention of their surroundings. You know, everybody says head on a swivel, head on a swivel. That time, it's it's a saying for a reason. You know, it's because if you're off in your own la la land and your eyes are down on that cell phone too often, it could be just too late. It's like, oh, I should have did this, oh, I should have done that. The shoulda wouldas, it can be bad. You know what I mean? One thing, um, I wish I could play the video, and most of you guys know I can't play videos because they always come back and haunt me with them. But I came across this video with which it was irritating watching, because the fact the girl was walking home irritated me, because my kids didn't walk. My boys did. My boys were, once they were well grown in their teens and stuff, they walked home. But they also knew how to take care of themselves. But my youngins, the little ones, I picked them up. I dropped them off from school, picked them up. If they did ride a bus for whatever reason, I took them to the bus and picked them up from a bus. But this little girl, she was probably about 12 years old, walking home, and she was about to pass it. She was walking on a sidewalk, and a car came up and pulled in front of the parked truck. And the girl knew something was up. And this was a very intelligent girl. She stopped at the back of the truck on the sidewalk to where she was adjacent from the back tire. And the car was waiting for her to get to the front of the truck. And, they were going to nab her. And so the car backs up. And when the car backed up, she moved to the front of the vehicle of the truck that was parked there. And this went on for 3 or 4 minutes. They went back and forth. And I'm just, I'm freaking out right now, because I don't want to see a video of a little girl getting taken or anything like that. And I'm just freaking out at the moment. And you see this going back and forth. And finally, this vehicle gives up. And then that little girl ran home. And I was like, oh, even though I don't like to see little kids walking home by themselves, being the world we live in, I commend whoever taught that girl how to be aware of what's going on, and had the knowledge of what she did, because that probably saved her life. I almost guaranteed it saved her life, or saved a long hardship life. Oh, but yeah, the weather today wasn't too bad. It was like 36. It was nice. Oh, that doesn't even sound good. Bone worms. Uh, yeah, I don't think I've heard too much about bone worms. Uh, that's our projected. Oh, you're going down to 36 tonight, B? Dang. Well, right now it's 28. So, we're supposed to get, like I said, people are freaking out. We're getting bad weather. Yeah, we're under a winter weather advisory. We're expecting 5 to 8 inches tonight, which, no, it's wintertime. You should already be prepared for winter. You know, I've got electric heaters. If electricity goes out, then, you know, I've got candles. You'd be surprised if you close off one room and light a few candles, how much heat that will produce. And I've got water, and, you know, I've got food. I've got ways to cook the food. I've got kerosene heaters, so, you know, I don't want to use all that stuff. I would rather, you know, have the nice warm furnace kicking in every few minutes. But yeah, like a few Sunday night into early Monday morning, we're supposed to get some. Yeah, in the teens. Yeah, down below, just right below us in McConnellsville, they got winter storm warning. I guess a warning is more than a advisory. I don't know. So we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, it's supposed to be a 13th from Sunday or from Saturday the 13th to Sunday the 14th at 1:00. So as long as it's, you know, not too bad. You just woke up. You knew old people naps. If I take a nap in the daytime, it means I didn't sleep the night before, the day before, and that's usually a nap is my sleep for the day. Yeah, we had yesterday. There was a lot of snow come down when we first left tomorrow yesterday morning. There was quite a bit of snow coming down, but by the time we got out of the county and stuff, it was a lot better. And then once we started heading back, it started snowing pretty good, but nothing really stuck. They were on the roads. If you're familiar with up here up north, they've got a spray that they'll spray on the roads to to stop the ice. Come on, get up here if you're getting up. Come on. Pest. You got to say hi. Say hi. Say hi. He didn't want to say hi. But I think about every year I go over, bug out bag stuff, and for some odd reason that has been coming up a lot. I've noticed a lot of new videos coming out with bug out bag stuff, and a lot of them say it shouldn't be over 5 pounds. Your bug out bag shouldn't be over 5 pounds. But yet, if you watch in the comments, there'll be a lot of people in the comments of these videos, and they'll say, "Oh, you didn't put this in there. Oh, you have to have this in there." And I'm a firm believer that your bug out bag should be tailored to you and nobody else. So, like everybody says, you got to have sunscreen. Well, if you're a tan individual, and you don't have issues about burning or anything like that, having, sunscreen or suntan oil or whatever doesn't really, it's not something that you need to carry. I love doing the videos, but sometimes the comments are just way out there. Way out there. Oh, you need to have this. Where's your sledgehammer at? What was the other one? Oh, you need to carry a cast iron Dutch oven with you. That way you can cook big meals. It's a bug out bag. If I put everything in a bug out bag that everybody wanted in it, I wouldn't be able to get off the ground. I wouldn't be able to lift the thing. Imagine carrying. It would be nice, to have a Dutch oven out with you if you had to bug out and stuff. But imagine trying to carry that thing. Through town, out in the woods, and you're trying to be quiet too, because technically you don't want to be seen in the daytime. If you're bugging out, things are bad. There's a reason why they call it a bug out bag, because you don't want to bug out. You want to stay in your house. That's where all your food is. That's where all your protection. Every inch of your house or your trailer or whatever. But the fact is, you don't want to bug out. And there's so many people that like, oh, I can't wait till I get to use my bug out bag and get out, No, you don't want to. You want that protection of your own house. Now, if you're already out on the street, you don't need a bug out bag, because that you already live in a bug out bag. But what I always say for a bug out bag, there's 5 things, and most of you guys here probably heard me say this 100 times, but a container, a cutting device, combustion device, cordage, and cover. Yeah. That's the basic things, because of those 5 things. If you're in a desert or you're in a forest or in a jungle, those are the 5 hardest things to recreate without, in nature. So those are the most important. The other stuff, you know, is just extra goodies. I probably and I get, oh, you got 5-6 different fire starters, or you got this, you got a lighter, and you got magnifying glasses, you got all this stuff. Well, I always like to have backups of the backups. So I can have a lighter, but what happens when that lighter goes, all the fuel goes out? Well, I can use the flint inside there, but once that goes, what am I going to use? You know, then I got the kerosene rod. I can use that, but what happens when that goes? So you always want to have a backup of a backup. Same thing with knives. I have 5, 6, 7 knives. Plus, I'll be carrying a knife. But I want to have multiple knives, backups. Why does it look like I'm emerging from a wall? Yeah, I'm not really in a bunker, by the way. Yeah, it's a green screen. Just for knives. Yeah, I'm a knife collector. I like, if I see a knife somewhere and I don't have to spend too much on it, I'll pick it up just to have it. I've got, like, if somebody came in and I didn't have a protection device sitting right here, they'd be in trouble, because I'd be throwing knives left and right at them. Because I've got so many. I've got a machete sitting there. Well, I've got another machete over there. It's not really a machete, but it's kind of like a machete. It's just a big knife. Yeah, exactly. I don't understand the whole. I mean, like I said, I have a bug out bag. I hope that thing sits on the wall and it's never used, besides making a video on it or something. Um, I hope never ever to use it. Just like I hope never to use the water I have in the basement, you know, in storage. I hope not to ever use any of my preps, except for, because, you know, my preps are basically I my pantry, but I rotate and I get more in, and then I eat it, and then, you know, all that stuff. How do you drink out of a cup? You know, like that. Hey CJ, how you doing? Mm, hose pipe. Well, your place, I wouldn't do it here. My drinking, my tap water, I don't drink out of that. I cook with it, and I wash clothes and take a bath in it, but I ain't going to drink it. Your live chat looks weird. You mean the one that's on the screen here? Wait, Regina, yeah, you're on the vertical one. There we go. Well, there's a difference between drinking and cooking with it, because if you cook with it, you're going to burn off any of the impurities. Besides, and I've already got, wherever it's at, right here. I've got so much junk on my desk. I've got a water tester anyway, so I've tested the water before when it comes straight out of the tap, and I've tested it after I boiled it, and the boiled water is good. Thank you, Harvest. I appreciate it. Now, I looked and seen my bot is over on the vertical side too. It's interesting. I got 26 people on the vertical, and I got 26 people on the horizontal. Oh, it just went to 27. Hey, Harvest. How's your weather where you're at right now? Jeff says he wants 6 feet of snow for Christmas. Oh, let me find this real quick. Copy. Cold. Where's the global warming? Well, we all know that. It went and come. Oh, okay. I did want to pop in a link real quick for the Superb canning lids or jars. Now they have the jars, lids, and everything, but they are running a special right now, so it'd be a good time to get it. And if you, and usually you only got 10% off, but if you use this code Bushcraft Harvest 20, you get 20% off your purchase. So if you use that code there, or just click the link, I think the link works the same because it does have the harvest on there. You get 20% off, and I think that's until Christmas, if I'm not mistaken, or to the end of the year. I'll have to ask them again. But yeah, excellent lids. And the only reason I'm bringing it up because they were talking about canning lids on Simply Jan's over there, and I'm like, everybody should be using Superb lids now. 34? That's not too bad. That's what we were at today, and it was nice. That's t-shirt weather up here. I think it's, yeah, we got rain and snow on the way. My own commercials. I should. Well, actually, I did make an intro that I could turn into a commercial. I don't know where it's at now, but let me see if I still have it. Oh, I might have. I don't know. I don't think it has sound on it anymore. But here, let me share it. Share video file. Yeah, I don't think it has any sound on it.
I understand. So the headspace refers to the recipe. First thing you have to do is the headspace refers to the space between the top level and how much of
it's got all the videos on there at the same time. But yeah, I need to make one, don't I? Remove from studio. Ooh, yeah, that's some cold weather there. Like I said, it's been a week or so ago, and at that time when we went down to Zanesville, it was 9 degrees, and the top half of me was nice and warm because of the heat coming in, or the heat being on, but the below section of me, I was freezing. My feet were frozen because I got a hole or a vent or something open down underneath my feet, and I was freezing. And by the time we got home, I just get cuddled up with the cats and stayed there until I warmed up. Yeah, I can deal with cold. It's just once you get the cold with the wind, oh, that's a horrible thing. 48 in Alabama. Yeah, see, 48. Yeah, that's t-shirt and shorts weather. Getting ding batters. What's his name now? I always forget. And Jeff's the one that showed me his channel. Oh, Jetfro. I hate the YouTube has changed their ways on their, because you have to hit the YouTube symbol and then you have to hit subscribers because you don't. Oh yeah, Appalachian Metcat, and he did a video on hominy. He was it was all dried out. You know, the hominy was all dried out, and he went in there and shucked it and cleaned it all and put it on a big pot on the wood stove, and he cooked it for a day, and then cleaned it off. And you know, you have to go like this to get the film off the corn and everything, and a long process, but still very, very cool. Hey, Bulldogs, how's it going? Good to see you. I would say I hope you're staying warm, but I'm pretty sure you're probably warm where you're at. Although nighttime, desert gets cold at nighttime. Yeah, we used to go out in the Tucson desert and you know, have a party or two, and we used to make sure we brought wood with us, because as soon as that sun goes down, temperature dropped, and you needed a fire, because we didn't, you didn't go. Most people didn't own pants and long sleeves or anything like that, so you needed some fire. Yeah, 30s and 40s. Yeah, I remember this is in I think 87. It snowed in Tucson, Arizona, and people freaked out. You know, the end's coming. You know, people were going to churches and praying. The end of the world was coming, and I was like, "This ain't snow." People were sliding all over the place. It was a fun sight to see. Oh, shut up! I don't want to hear that. Oh. Yeah, I used to have so much fun in the desert. We'd go out with we didn't have the three wheelers or quads or anything like that. Although there's one guy, um, and this was it may have been California. I can't remember, but they had there's some dunes, and we used to go with the dune buggies. And you get some air on those dunes. I remember hitting 50, 60 miles an hour over one of those things, and you fly. And it's like what they call butt crunchers, where you're you're not sure how far you're going to fly until you get it. Once you get to the peak, and you don't hear the tires on the sand anymore, and you're soaring, and that's when your butt cheeks crunch up, and you're waiting for that land. Yeah. um and I can't remember if it's on the Arizona side or the California side where they have the really tall ones. But we used to go out there for a weekend. You camp out there and everything, and it's by the time you're done, um, you're like all the moisture has been sucked out of your skin. Yeah, California side. But that's such a blast. And um, I was really good at sand surfing, and you set up at the top of some of these dunes that especially some of them are pretty steep, and you just slide down there. Now, if you mess up, uh, sand isn't like snow or water. It hurts when you fall. Oh, and it'll tear your skin up. You'll have like almost like a road rash on you when you fall, especially if you start do the death rolls. You get them dune buggies, and you get them to pull you up the hill. Your screen was messed up too. Somebody else said that. Oh, wait, you're not on the vertical. Yeah, if you're having problems with the skinny vertical thing, you can come over to the wide screen. Which I don't know why I just said the wide screen, because you guys can't even see me raising my hands up like that. Oh, you guys actually have sand dunes in North Carolina too? Huh. I didn't know that. Here, let's pop that up real quick. Oh wow, there's sand dunes in Michigan too. That's not what I was typing, but North Carolina. Oh well, that's a beach. I'm not trying to diss anybody, but yeah, that's a beach. Here, let me see. I'll show you up here. And this is first thing that pops up. Share screen. Let me add it. There we go. I mean, you can't really see too much of it, but that looks like a beach to me. Now, mind you, I've bulldogs could probably tell you the sand dunes there are hundreds of feet up from the bottom. They go up. Yeah, it looks like the water should be up over and just up over this thing. That looks like a beach to me. Yeah, I pulled it. I started typing sand dunes in, and there's tons of them in different areas. Now, I have to see the Michigan one, see if that looks like a dune or not. Here's Sleepy Bear. That's a little bit better, but not quite. I mean, people look like they're at the beach. Those down at the end are big. Lake Michigan has Mount Baldy. This is Sleeping Bear Dunes, the first one that popped up. And like I said, that's a little bit higher at where the parking lot is. And by the water, it's not very high. It's just a bunch. Why is there a bridge on here? I don't know. I mean, it really high up from the water. Yeah, that's the Sleepy Dunes. Yeah. The one part looks pretty high wherever the parking lot is. They charge you to rescue. Oh, for like vehicles and stuff. I used to love watching trucks go out on the sand dunes, and they'd get stuck, and then here comes a big old 4-wheel drive truck and yank them out. You know how many bumpers get left out there? Oh. Let's see the other one. Sand Dunes Beach. It's not showing it. Evidently, they didn't want to show that one because it's closed. Oh, here's the other one is Warren Dunes State Park. And again, it looks like a beach to me. It's flat. It's just, it's flat. That looks like a beach. I don't know how they call it a dune. Oh, boat rescue. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Because you don't want to climb back up the hill. A better picture. You probably sent it to Truth Social, maybe. Alerts. Okay. Yes. Again, that it looks like a beach area. That one looks pretty good. Because I mean, even in Florida, there's some that you have to climb over to get to the beach. Yeah, one dude's sliding down the side, but it looks like 20 feet high. Jockey's Ridge. That sounds familiar. Yeah, that's in Colorado. I've never been to one in Colorado though. It's supposed to be one of the tallest in California or Colorado, I think. Yeah, let me show you this one right here. And you can't really tell either because it doesn't really look that big. Share screen. And there we go. That really doesn't look too big, but I think she's like halfway up, and that's one of the I can't remember the name of it now. On the California side, it's pretty good height to it. Get fly. Yeah, those are the bigger ones right there, and that's ones where they have designated areas for vehicles to jump over. And usually they have somebody up top with a flag telling one side to go and the other side to get out the way. If you're lucky. If you're lucky. Yeah, my little screen down here at the bottom on the vertical side when I show images. Yeah, here's another view from, and this is the one in uh, Colorado. I haven't been here. I've drove through it, or kind of around it. And you're probably not gonna, because it's a bad picture. I hate when they have these small pictures in here. I have to zoom in. Yeah, that's at the bottom. And you can see that's a pretty good sized dune right there. That's what I think a dune is. the other ones just look like, beachfront. The one in Michigan did look pretty good when the person was walking up it from the parking lot. I never did show that though. Okay, this 10 of the tallest dunes in North America. Let's see what this says. Well, this is actually in Canada. Number 10 is in Canada. And the other one's in Mexico. I actually was at that one. That was, I don't believe that one was ever, I must not have been at the high part. Warren Dunes State Park. See, that doesn't look very big to me. That one. And that's in Michigan there. With dunes formation rising up to 260 feet above Lake Michigan. Warren Dunes features 2,000 acres. Huh. Imperial sand dunes. I remember this one because Star Wars was filmed here. Hey, 101. No. Well, I mean, I don't know if you need an ocean, but you could, because Arizona has dunes, and you can say that it's next to California, but then you could say the same thing about Colorado, even though Nevada's in there. Nevada has dunes too. Yeah, located southwest or southeast California, and that's the one that I've been to. Heights about 300 feet. And then there's number 6, Dumont Dunes, which is in California too, and they go up to 450 feet. Number 5 is Sleeping Bear Dunes in Michigan, go up to 460 feet. Brunier Sand Dunes State Park, and that's in Idaho. They go up to 470 feet. There's some Oregon dunes, number 3, that go 500 feet. Wow. See, I thought the California one was the highest one. Well, here, the Mojave National Preserve. See, this one I thought was the highest, but evidently it's not. It goes up heights around 600 feet. And the Great Sand Dunes National Park and Preserve, which is in Colorado, has the highest, which is over 750 feet tall sand dunes. Yeah, that's well, see, I learned something. I didn't think Michigan was up there that high. After Sleepy Bear Dunes, Warren was a disappointment. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think Michigan was up there. Where was it? Yeah. 460 feet. Sleeping Bear Dunes. Our dunes is a rut. Ooh. I looked today and they were still the full price. So it might take a while before it gets to Ohio. Because I've been keeping an eye on the ham. I'm not a fan of the spiral cuts though. They dry out too easy. I like the ham that's got the fat and all that on there. Oh, that's the good stuff there. Oh, did they really? Oh, yeah. I didn't get any documents or anything, but it looks like Superb Lids are having a sale right now, 20% off instead of 10%. Usually they send me a thing saying to advertise, but I evidently didn't get one this time. But I just checked and it was I got the 20% off. Yeah, I mean you could do a good job with a spiral ham, but it's much easier with the one that's not all sliced up. Oh, they didn't get you one either? That's odd. Yeah, I looked on the page and I'm like, oh, what's this? I mean, I got the code, but they didn't tell me I got it. So I went on the page because somebody was asking about it. So I figured I'd get a link for them. And then I noticed, oh, 20% off? Yeah, I like the ham with, if it's got the fat. And a lot of people don't like the fat. You can cut that fat off after it's done cooking. Yeah. But you have that fat in there, oh, it makes it so juicy. See, I actually learned something new, that Michigan has dunes. and North Carolina has beaches. That page again. Yeah, I think it's about time to do another bug out bag thing. Ham's not a go to me. For me, it's good, but I just think about it. I got lost on that. Beaches with runt dunes. Yeah, the ones, because they on the border of Arizona and California. I've been there many times, and sometimes we end up on the California side because you do travel a lot because it's a good big area. They built us dunes after Sandy hit. Took 4 years to get money together. Yeah, well, look how long it took them to get those trees cut up over there at that park across the street from you. Oh, okay. Yeah. I love turkey for Thanksgiving, but I will come Christmas, it's ham all the way. I know there's people that do ham and turkey, but I can only afford one chunk of meat, so it'll be ham. Yeah, I still have some big channels following me on Truth Social. I noticed. And believe it or not, I've been wanting to do a video, and I kind of don't want to because that means we'd have snow. It was about how to get drinking water from snow, which you think is easy and stuff, but there's a process to it. You know, there may be somebody out there that like, if it snows, how do I get water? Because you don't eat the snow, because that can put you in the hypothermia, depending if you're outside or not. But I kind of want to do a test on snow. I want to create water, and all you do is melt it down, But I want to test the water after I heat it up, because I'm kind of curious, is the water any good? Is it fit for drinking in our day and time when we have mysterious clouds overhead? And I got to be careful because we're kind of getting into the conspiracy Tuesday range when we're talking about things in the sky. I mean, back in the day, I remember going out and getting a big tub full of snow and my grandpa making ice cream out of it. I would not do that nowadays. Yeah, I'm curious on that. I really am. We haven't had a good snow, and that's the thing, is you don't want a really wet snow. You want the light snow, because the lighter snow is higher up, and I think those might tell you a little bit more what's up in the sky. Oh, you'd have a big list of stuff compared to. I used to think, in the 80s, we did some crazy stuff, but we never ate dish soap and laundry soap and did some of the stuff they do now. Yeah, I think we were very intelligent compared to nowadays. Oh, some of the stuff I see, I'm like, huh? Oh, you mean rubber cement in art class? They're not even allowed to have that now. Airplane glue buffers. Yeah, just, you know, could you imagine your younger self in the 80s, 70s, or whatever it may be, going to the future and reading the warning labels of packages nowadays? Um, you know, McDonald's, go get a cup of coffee. Caution, it's hot. Duh. What do you expect? It's coffee. Hairspray, don't spray in eyes. Why do you have to have this? Some, you know, the Gorilla Glue, don't put it in your hair. Really? I can't put the glue in my hair? Oh, man. Why not? It's a wonder. I don't want to say too much. Then you understand their arguments about what is a woman, and they don't know, or they don't want. You know, and I kind of hate those videos because they're making fun of the poor people. But then again, it's like, after you listen to their reasoning, it's like, oh, that's why you're on YouTube. Yes, it does. Makes your IQ go down a few notches from reading packages. Like, well, do you guys all know the Campbell's soup guy that, whoops, you're recording me? You know, he went off about the bioengineered ingredients and 3D printed meat and so forth. And he doesn't have a job at the moment. Not surprising, but, you know, and what does Campbell's do besides fire the guy? Nothing. And they keep on doing what they're doing. And there's people that still buy the stuff. We were, because my son wanted soup, and we were going around looking for cans of soup that didn't have bioengineered ingredients or, you know, some of the other ingredients that you don't want to eat. And we finally found it at Bueller's, of all places. The name brand stuff is stuff you don't want to touch. And the Bueller's brand actually was pretty good. You know, it had a few things in there, but it didn't have high fructose corn syrup, and it didn't have bioengineered ingredients in there. So it's amazing that I never thought that I would actually be one of those people that would read labels. You know, I never thought that I would go to the store and read labels. It boggles the brain. Yeah, look at the, you know, the trend where they went in the grocery store and pulled the lids off the ice cream and licked it and put the lids back on. If I open ice cream now and it doesn't have that seal, I'm not getting that ice cream again. Yeah, same here. It's overwatered, and you know the cans. If you go back 20 years, the cans were twice the size as they are now. And first of all, it's concentrated can. You know, you have to add water with it and stuff. It's hardly anything now. Not to mention that they allegedly use printed meat. And those of you guys have been watching this channel for a while. When I talked about the lab meat that was coming to the United States, saying that one day we'll find out that something that we've been eating is lab grown meat, and they didn't tell us because they don't have to tell us now. It makes you wonder what else out there, you know, frozen pot pies. Is that meat made in a lab, or is it, you know, a regular chicken? The frozen TV dinners with the Salisbury steak or meatloaf. Is that, what kind of meat is that? Is that real meat? Are the vegetables, you know, cardboard or whatever? It's flavored cardboard. Makes you wonder. And all they have to do is bioengineered ingredient, or, you know, artificial flavoring. What is that artificial flavoring? It's a legal term that it's their special recipe that they can hide stuff within it. Yeah, Chipotle is ranked one of the worst restaurants out there for unsanitary. You know, they're dirty. Yeah, vegetable protein. And do you realize that the majority of protein that comes from vegetables, your body only absorbs maybe 6 to 8% of it. Your body was not meant to use vegetable protein. You go talk to some weightlifters and stuff, and because there's a lot of whey protein, which is a vegetable one. They stay away from that because it actually does more harm to your muscles, because it takes so long for it to get to the muscle. It's actually bad for them. Even though it's a protein shake, meant for bodybuilders, they stay away from it. But there are other people that use it, you know, like these the vegans and stuff. I gotta stay away from it, you know. I can't have that stuff, you know. Yeah, that's eating the actual food instead of the broke down proteins is the way to go. It's when they turn all of that into a powder and they say it's 20 grams of protein or 60 grams of protein. The only problem is the body only absorbs a certain amount of that vegetable protein. Now, if it's like a beef protein, that straight to the muscle. Of course, it's more expensive too. Yeah, eggs. Yeah. How many times in your life have you been told eggs are good for you? You know, next year eggs are bad for you. They're full of cholesterol. They're full of this. They're full of that. Don't eat it. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that collagen is really good for you. You wouldn't believe how lacking the diet of people are right now for just collagen. That it's been cut out so much because it's the bad cholesterol and that, and no, your body needs that stuff just like the cholesterol. Ever since people have been taking the cholesterol pills to lower their cholesterol, there's been Alzheimer's, dementia, all that, because of your brain needs cholesterol. Oh yeah, yeah. Just like in Ohio, we've got, well, it's an Ohio or Michigan border. I can't remember which one. There's a fish farm that is a new breed of fish because they bioengineered this fish. It's like a salmon and a carp mix. So it's a big giant salmon mixed with carp. So it makes it bigger and stuff. Yeah. Well, that's a long trip for a fish or a shrimp. One of the best things I ever got caught in a cage, which technically I caught the cage, which probably could have got in trouble, but I reeled this thing in. It must have took me an hour to reel this. I thought it had a big fish, and it was a lobster cage, and this was off the coast, next to it, a little island outside of Maine, and had lobster in it. And I cooked one of them lobsters up. Oh, that still to this day, that's the best lobster I ever had. And I let the other lobsters go because this lobster, the tail was huge. Well, that's the thing is, and I don't know if it's still a thing, but they used to rotate when you could actually go out and get the shrimp down there. I'm not sure about Florida, but I do know Louisiana because there was also issues with the oil wells out there and stuff, that if the shrimp came back with a high amount of, the stuff with the oil, that they would reduce the amount of shrimp that was farmed or fished. I don't know if that's still a thing or not. But I know the shrimp fishers, they would complain that they weren't allowed to. There's certain days they could go out or something. I can't remember. I was just a little snot back then. I started working. I was just clean fish, and then clean the boats off. They were charters or something, and that's all you heard about fishing was, oh, we can't get out there now. We have to wait until 12 o'clock tomorrow night or something like that. See, you guys are going to make me hungry. And I didn't bring up the food. You guys brought up the food tonight. Here we are getting on that subject. Oh, really? Well, that's good for you. That way you get shrimp or scallops. Well, I do know somebody that owns but I haven't talked to him for a while because he's fine, but when he drinks, he's not. And I'll leave it at that. He's a very nice guy and everything, and I just wasn't. When he starts drinking, I don't like, people that make fun of other people or, cause trouble. And a lot of us left that group because of that. And I supported that garden community for a good while. Oh yeah. And what's it? I can't remember that. What's that little thing that's got spines all over it, and you got to cut that open? I can't remember what that thing's called. And I thought that was the grossest thing until they actually really good. Scallops today, big ones. Yeah, that's it. Sea urchins. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was the grossest thing. I'm like, oh, no way. You're not going to eat that. And like, oh, that's ain't bad. Yeah, I've had some strange food, but I still, there's certain things that I won't eat, and I've been some people tried to trick me a few times. Oh, try these oysters. And I'm like, that don't look like the oyster. Oh, this is a Rocky Mountain oyster. No, I'm not touching it. I'll save that for Jeff. He can have all those Rocky Mountain oysters he can eat. Yeah, you watch other people eating that and they're like chewing on that thing forever. I'm like, no. That's what I miss about Florida. Oh man, you get some good fish down there. And I lived in Dustin, Florida, and like I said, I started off cleaning fish, cleaning the fish out and stuff like that, and then they started letting me clean the boats, and then going out on the boat and chumming, which I didn't. He says if you get sick, you only get paid half money. And I said, I'm not gonna get sick. And he says, you know what this is? And he says, we have rotten guts, fish guts and stuff like that. You have to sling it outside the boat when I tell you. I said, okay. And I had no problem with it. It was stinky, but I didn't have any problem with it. Tell me time that fishermen called shrimp a pain. They hated it until somebody ate them. Yeah. I mean, would you ever think, well, I mean, up here in Ohio, we eat crawdads, and they're just basically miniature lobsters. But who would have thought somebody would have ate one of those? But I remember going down to the creek and getting a mess of them, and we'd cook them up and a little snack for sitting by the fire. Well, we're almost at the 10 o'clock mark. I don't know who's alive tonight or not. So let me go check real quick. Or if there's anybody going to be live. Oh, well, Lisa's. Oh, I thought she was. There it is. Lisa's live. I think she starts at 9, so I can send you guys over to her channel and get her link real quick. But I think, let me see. Yeah, next week I'm gonna do my Christmas giveaway. So the 19th, we'll have a Christmas giveaway where I give away a few things. Kind of celebrate Christmas a little early. It'll be the 19th, so, and that'll be the last Friday of before Christmas, because Christmas is on Thursday this year. Yogi Hollow Farms. Let me drop the link for her. And it puts it twice, so okay. Where's her channel? And she's talking about prepping, winter prepping, which is a good subject. But I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight, and thank you for the conversation and the learning of. I only thought there was dunes in the West, so I'm shocked that Michigan has dunes that are 475 feet tall. I wouldn't have never even thought that. But everybody have a good night, and we will catch you later. God bless. Oh, thank you, B. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I actually, you know what? I can do, if I can find it, video clips.
New channel member. Thank you for your support.
It's supposed to say thank you. Oh, there it is.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah. Thank you. YouTube, don't copyright this.